Terrifying moment. Ukrainian artillery blows up column of Russian tanks crossing enemy lines. Drone footage shows Ukraine open fire on a column of tanks in a contested area facing massive attacks by Russia. New video captures the moment Ukraine pummels Russian tanks trying to break through their defenses at a key checkpoint. Kyiv's military today shared that they have repelled a huge tank offensive, one of Russia's heaviest assaults in months, on the city of Avdiivka, Donetsk Oblast. A drone shows the fleet approach the city, only to be met with heavy Ukrainian artillery. Multiple blasts are seen along the road, attempting to destroy the Russian advance before it reaches Avdiivka. Andriy Yermak, the head of the Ukrainian president's office, said on Tuesday, "Our Avdiivka is under massive attacks by Russian artillery and aviation." His post on Telegram included a photo of a building reduced to rubble from the Russian advance. Mykola Bielyeskov, a military analyst at the National Institute for Strategic Studies, a Ukrainian government research group, told the media that the scale of the recent attacks is unprecedented in Avdiivka. He compared it to the fighting that took place there more than half a year ago, when Russia shelled the city during its offensive. Moscow has also been dealt a massive blow, as the apocalyptic devastation in Ukraine means they have next to no chance of rejoining the UN Human Rights Council. International human rights lawyer Katriona Murdoch told media, "It is close to unprecedented that the UN Human Rights Council acted as it did 18 months ago, it being only the second time in the Council's history that a member has been suspended for committing gross and systematic violations of human rights. The impact of this war on civilians and the apocalyptic devastation it is leaving meant the stakes were higher with this vote. The continued suspension of Russia rightly signals strong condemnation against an unlawful aggressor and a country which routinely disregards its own people's rights and freedoms." It also follows Moldova bravely declaring Russia is a threat to its national security for the first time ever. Moldovan President Maia Sandu warned Putin wants to liquidate our statehood. The shift in attitude is a huge win for the West, as Moldova said the new stance will come with greater investment in defense and security systems to protect it from Putin's influence. Independent analysts who tally combat losses in Ukraine quickly gauged the scale of the debacle as Russian regiments rolled into Ukrainian artillery and missile kill zones. Analyst Andrew Perpetua, in just the last 24 hours, has verified around 70 vehicle losses on the Russian side, but only around 15 on the Ukrainian side. Among the Russian losses is at least one of four main tank types: T-62s, T-72s, T-80s, and T-90s. The only type missing is the 70-year-old T-54-55. One Ukrainian source claimed the Russians lost 34 tanks in all. It seems the Russians have concentrated around half a dozen motor rifle regiments and brigades for their two-prong assault on Avdiivka. With several thousand infantry and hundreds of tanks and fighting vehicles between them, the attackers on paper outnumbered the approximately two-brigade Ukrainian garrison in Avdiivka. The Russians also enjoy significant air and artillery support. Russian Air Force Sukhoi Su-35 fighter bombers reportedly bombarded Avdiivka. There were reports of strikes by guided munitions, presumably the UPABs and CABs that Ukrainian troops have described as the most terrifying of Russia's weapons. All that Russian firepower didn't matter yesterday. Not when the Ukrainian brigades had months, even to dig in. The Ukrainian defenders are bravely holding the line, the Ukrainian General Staff reported on Wednesday. They repelled 10 enemy attacks near Avdiivka, and another 8 attacks in the areas east of Stepov and southeast of Shivernyi, along the same sector of the front. Unblinking Ukrainian surveillance was key to the defensive effort. Unit 129, which flies drones on behalf of territorial troops in Avdiivka, reported flying for 20 hours straight and pinpointing the entire Russian assault force. Everyone was found, the unit claimed. It's a matter of intensive debate whether the Russian armed forces in Ukraine still possess significant operational reserves, uncommitted formations that still have most of their troops and vehicles, and aren't exhausted from months of ceaseless fighting.
Сьогодні тут, завтра там.